Hey, everybody. Hope and pray that you're doing well today as we come to our word from the word. And today, that word is close. Close. Now, if you're watching daily, Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoy this Christmas day with friends, family, whatever it may be. Even if you're alone, remember that you are never alone with God. This Christmas may look different, and it seems like every year it looks a little bit different. Some years are a little bit better, maybe some new blessings, some a little bit sadder because we've lost loved ones or things have changed. But one thing remains the same: Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So that picture I put up at the beginning, right? You maybe have seen, the music video, these Christmas shoes, and it really just kind of goes in the Hallmark theme as well. A lot of people watch those movies, and you see this idea of the little boy coming up, and he wants to get the shoes for his mama, and she's sick, and he's got all his money together, and he comes up short. He's close, right? That's our word for today. He's close to being able to pay it, but he can't. And so the gentleman behind him, he says, hey, he finds out what's going on. He takes care of the rest. And it's all to get those Christmas shoes. And that thought is seen throughout scripture that, we feel like at times that, like, man, we're close. Maybe we could get salvation on our own. But let me tell you this for sure. We all fall short of the glory of God. But God the Father was right behind us, and he paid with his son Jesus. That's the Jesus that we celebrate here at Christmas. The fact that he was born with a purpose to die. Now we're going to look at Acts, and I want to tie this in together with our story of Paul. As we find today in Acts 26, he is before King Agrippa, and the thing he is given a great testimony, and he gets to the point where he says, King, don't you believe? I know you believe what I'm telling you. And hear the sad words that he says. Acts 26, verses 28 and 29. Then Agrippa said to Paul, you almost persuade me to become a Christian. And Paul said, I would to God that not only you, but also all who hear me today might become both almost and altogether such as I am, except for these chains. In other words, King Agrippa says, you almost convinced me that I need to get saved, and you almost convinced me that Jesus has paid the way, but I just can't step out that close. And Paul, it's almost like kind of that same thing that Paul is like in behind him in line, and he wants to pay it for him. And his desire is that everybody that hears him, not just the king, but all those that are within the sound of his voice, that all of them would become as Paul. Not, he says, except for these chains. He says, I don't want you to be chained up like I am. I don't want you to have to suffer like I am. He said, what I want for you to experience first and foremost is the salvation of God. And I couldn't help but think, I wonder how many of us would have that desire, right? When we witness to somebody and they say, well, maybe another time. Maybe, you've almost persuaded me to come to church. You've almost persuaded me that Jesus did rise from the dead. You almost persuaded me that Jesus is the reason for the season. And the list can go on and on. But I wonder how many of us that whole thought, he says, I would to God, I pray that you would be saved. How many of us, when someone is that close, we really beg God, God, let them see. Let them not just get close. Let them get all of you. See, the thing is this Christmas, you might see family members and friends that you rarely see. What if today could be that day of salvation for them? Will you stand up boldly and proclaim, thus saith the Lord? Will you proclaim like Paul was doing? Just tell them what happened to you. Let them see the change in your life. Let that be testimony. And it is my prayer that as you do that, you won't hear the response of you almost persuaded me. I'm close. I pray that they would accept that free gift of salvation. Can you imagine a better Christmas than that? God bless you. And I pray you have a great, great day and a Merry Christmas.